We'll zoom out first. Do we like Buffalo adding another weapon to Josh Allen's arsenal?
So, of course, I love them adding another weapon, just not in the first round because they have so much need on the defensive side of the ball. I doubt if they expend their first-round draft pick on the offensive side where you just acquired DJ Moore. You trust who Josh Allen is. You know who James Cook is in that passing game as well as the running game. And obviously, Khalil Shakir, your tight ends, we can go on and on. But in the third round, yeah.
Third round?
Yeah.
Well, they
don't have a second-round pick. So that's where they would have to do it. And I could see them adding another weapon there. Look, if they were to add a receiver, let's just say they were to add a receiver, for me, a fit would be a bigger guy. I know a lot of people like Denzel Boston. He's okay. Like he has.
Look, that is a scathing indictment.
No, I mean,
Denzel
for me,
Boston,
there's a lot of things on film that I don't necessarily care about. Do I believe he can be a good player? I do. I just think I don't know if he can be that guy right away. A guy that a lot of people don't talk about, that played at a smaller school, Georgia State, is Ted Hurst. A 6'4" guy, can run, can sink his hips, can catch the ball, can get down the field, can run every route on the route tree. Now, he needs some improvement. And one of the reasons why
Because you're thinking third round, too.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why, for me, Denzel Boston, he's going to go earlier.
Right.
And I don't think they will expend that pick for him. And having Keon Coleman and Brandon Beane talking about doubling down on the fact that, you know what, we believe in this guy. He just has to put it on. To have a guy and miss when you drafted him in the second round, and then to take a guy in the first round that's not a sure thing, unless he's a sure thing, you don't do that. And I don't think Denzel Boston is a absolute sure thing.
I'm with Greg. Like, look, you went out and got your number one guy in DJ Moore. He's only, 28? Khalil Shakir is a legit number 2. Then you got Keon Coleman, who let's just say, for sake of argument, is going to improve. And McCole Hardman. Like, that's a pretty good receiving room. It's certainly good enough for Josh Allen. Because remember, when the Bills kind of took off a couple years ago, took off again, it was when they stopped passing the ball as much. Now, Brady may want to open it up again, but remember they stopped throwing it as much. Josh's last 2 seasons, one of which was an MVP year, he's thrown the ball less than he has since his rookie year in his last 2 seasons. So you got James Cook, you're a running team. You got a great running back. Josh himself can run. I'm not saying you don't want to throw it. I'm just saying I wouldn't waste a first-round pick on a receiver. Now, I agree with you. If you get him in the third round or later, sure, why not take a flyer on a guy? But I think they have so many needs defensively, and that's the big question mark without Sean McDermott there. So I'm trying to improve the defense if I'm them early in the draft.
So they're, and this is one of the reasons why it was surprising to some that Brandon Beane not only escaped, the firing that Sean McDermott suffered, but seemingly got promoted. After Josh Allen, this team has really struggled with its top picks. So the draft right after Josh, they took Ed Oliver. That guy's awesome. Like, that one worked. The next draft, they traded their first-round pick for Stephon Diggs. That worked out. That first-round pick also ended up being Justin
Jefferson for the
Ended up being Justin Jefferson.
Well, that would have been.
So, but that was but they spent that first-round pick on a wide receiver. It was just a veteran wide receiver.
Yeah.
The next year, they, in the first round, took Greg Rousseau, who's fine. Then the next year, cornerback Kaiir Elam, which is total miss off the team. The next year, first-round pick, a weapon for Josh, Dalton Kincaid. He's still not their top tight end. You know what I mean? That didn't work. The next year, their top pick was Keon Coleman, the end of the first or beginning of the second. The very top of the second.
Yeah.
They traded back with the Chiefs or whatever it is. But their first pick was Keon Coleman, which has not worked out. And their first-round pick this last year was Maxwell Hairston, a corner. We'll see. So that's 5 years of first-round picks without getting a real impact player, at least as of yet.
Correct.
If we go back 6 years, their first-round pick was Diggs. He's been off the team for a couple years. I do think they need a receiver. I also think that any team in this draft, that if they took receiver, receiver, first round, second round, we'd say that's weird.
Yeah.
And that's what the Bills would be doing.
Yeah, it's pretty ironic for Nick to go on this lengthy rant about how poorly the Bills have handled drafting and roster building around Josh Allen, and yet he still wants to pin some of the failures over the last 4 or 5 years on Josh Allen. But Nick literally just listed off, well, this was a mistake, this was a bad pick, this was terrible, this was that. And you just think, huh? That kind of puts things into perspective a little bit, doesn't it? Just a little. And also Bruce saying, oh, well, they asked Josh Allen to throw less. Passing attempts are down for everyone. And indeed, across the NFL, pass attempts have decreased. So we keep trying to manufacture this narrative. I saw this in the comments the other day. Someone said, oh, well, they didn't start winning until they took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. And that's simply not what happened. What are you talking about? They don't take the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. In every single meaningful, must-have moment, the ball is firmly in Josh Allen's hands. So, I don't even know if I had the energy to fully respond to that comment, because if that's your opening statement, I don't really know what to say. But yeah, I hear what Greg is saying about focusing on defense. I mean, the defense situation is so tricky because the reality is that this offense wasn't great outside of Josh Allen and Cook. They had a genuine problem in the passing game because the receiving core was truly limited. And Josh Allen's heroics. You realize, without Josh Allen's heroics, the Bills don't even make the playoffs. They don't beat the Bucs. They don't beat the Bengals. They don't beat the Ravens. It's just basic math. It's just basic elementary arithmetic. They don't beat the Patriots. If I already said that, and if I didn't, I'll say it now, the Patriots too. There were just so many insane moments where Josh Allen had to be an absolute Superman. Okay? And so, you want to be able to construct a team where he doesn't have to be that. I mean, they had no deep threat. They couldn't stretch the field the way they wanted to. They were so limited in that regard. And obviously, that's clearly not on Josh Allen. The problem is also that the defense was a mess as well. The defense was a complete mess. And again, that forced Josh Allen to have to put up 30-plus points just to win a game. So they need a lot on both sides of the ball. And so now, if you essentially use your draft pick to go get DJ Moore on offense, well then, where does that leave you defensively? I think at the end of the day, if I'm the Bills, and this is, I think, impossible to predict in many ways, I think I just take the best available player. Whether that's on offense or defense. I simply pick whoever the best available player is at that moment in the draft. Someone falls to you, whether it's an offensive player you like, I just choose who I think will ultimately be a net positive, the highest net positive, as well as closer to a sure thing, right? Rather than just saying, well, we need defense, so we have to go that route. I'd prefer not to do that because I just think this team ultimately needs bodies. It needs playmakers. Whether it's on offense or defense. And I get it, right? Even though you got DJ Moore, if it is a wide receiver, then go for it. And again, I don't really ever try to predict how teams are going to draft. Well, they need another corner. They need this. The way these organizations operate, you just don't know what trades they're planning, what they're going to draft, whether they'll move back in the draft or move up, whether they're signing someone in free agency. I think that's a fool's errand. Honestly, the closest you ever get to having any real idea where a team is headed is when you know they need a quarterback. So they're going to draft a quarterback, right? And then it's just, is it going to be Tua or Justin Herbert? Or, is it going to be Drake May or Jaden Daniels? I think that's as close as you get. Outside of that, I just think it's messy. I really do. I think it's a little all over the place. So, I also think it's tricky because at this stage of the draft, when you're looking at some of these prospects, and I think this is the same for Josh Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, you want a player who can make an immediate impact right now. You don't have time to try to figure out and develop some of these guys. You need someone who can help you win right now. Immediately. That's what you need. And that's why I support the DJ Moore move, because you know he can make an impact right now. He can make an impact immediately. But it is always a bit of a problem and a little tricky when you make a move like acquiring DJ Moore, and you don't know exactly how he's going to fit into your offense. You don't know exactly how this is all going to look. So you don't know precisely what you need offensively. You don't have that fleshed out at this moment in time. Combined with not having a second-round pick. And when you're obviously trying to look at this immediate draft and figure out how to navigate it, it's not easy. And the Bills don't have the best track record with it, which is why I say take the best available. Take the best available player. Because you have to hit. Whether it's offense or defense. And I will say this. If there's one quarterback in the NFL who is equipped to overcome a defensive liability on his team, it's certainly Josh Allen. It's certainly Josh Allen. I don't want that to be the case. I don't want that to be the reality for the Bills. But, So you're also hoping with the new defensive coordinator that he's going to be able to elevate the defense. Get this defensive identity back on track. Elevate some players. Find value in later rounds. Etc., etc. They made some free agency moves on defense as well. So they really addressed both sides of the ball in free agency. So yeah, my gut just tells me take the best available. If we're really going to play the game of, do you want offense? Do you want defense? Do you want offense? Do you want defense? I'd say take the best available and then find value in the third round. That's what my gut tells me. But I have to fully concede that trying to predict drafts is really hard. It's a lot harder than anybody wants you to believe with all their mock drafts, right? But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? Do you think they should add more wide receivers? Do you think they should go offense or defense? What's the best move here for the Bills and Josh Allen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some debates. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here. I'd absolutely love to see you be part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.